In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Ricava Tequila right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where we're bringing to you yet another unbiased, honest review. And this time we're taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Ricava Tequila. There we go. Okay, I've got the Ricava Blanco. I've got the Reposado. And we have the Rosa. Focus. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at all three of these tequilas today and doing a tasting of them. And these were provided by the brand for an honest, unbiased review. And so that's exactly what you're going to get here on the Tequila Hombre. So let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about how this tequila is made. So Ricava Tequila comes out of NOM 1598, which the name of the distillery is Casa Tequilero. I've looked through their selection of tequilas that come out of this distillery and haven't really seen anything that I've tried and liked before. So this will be kind of interesting. Now, the distillery itself is located in Amatitlan, which is located just a little bit a ways from the city of Guadalajara and from the city of Tequila. So it is located in the Valle. Now, for this particular tequila, they do use Los Altos agave, according to the brand. They harvest their agave from the Los Altos region, and they cook them using an autoclave. After the agave are cooked, they then extract the sugars from them using a roller mill, and then ferment in stainless steel tanks. Once fermentation is complete, they then twice distill using stainless steel pot stills with copper coils. After that is then bottled as a Blanco, or they then make a Rosa or a Repo. And when we get to those particular expressions, we'll talk about the aging of them. But right now, let's get into the tasting portion and let's try the Blanco and see what that's all about. All right, so we're going to pour a little bit of Blanco in the glass. Now, I am using a Denver and Liley glass, of course, my go-to glass for tasting agave spirits. So let's take a look at it in the glass. It coats the glass. Well, it's kind of thin. Doesn't coat it too well, but does leave some pearls on the glass. Looking at the tequila itself, crystal clear. Looks beautiful. All right, let's see what we get on the nose. Now, this is, Los Altos agave, so it should be more fruitier and a little sweeter than Valle agave, but we'll see. So on the nose, get a really nice cooked agave note coming through. So you get that beautiful sweet cinnamon and baking spices coming through. Definitely a hint of citrus in there as well. It's nice and sweet on the nose, but not like artificially sweet, but more like just really nice cooked agave sweet. A little bit of minerality in it as well. More on the fruitier side as far as the nose notes come from, or in regards to the nose notes, a little on the fruitier side. It smells really nice. So nothing smells off about it at all. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile, though. This is my first sip of tequila, so first we have to acclimate our mouth to 40% alcohol. So we're going to do that first without trying to detect any notes. Let things settle down for a minute. Should always do this on your first sip before, if you're going to try to evaluate something. Get your lips and gums acclimated to 40% alcohol first. And then once you feel the stinging kind of subside a little bit, then you can go in for your taste and you won't get, any stinging or anything on your lips and gums and your tongue. All right, we're good. Salud. All right, coats the mouth a little bit. It's a little on the thin side, but nothing too bad. Definitely picking up a nice cooked agave notes, the sweet cinnamon and baking spices coming through. Little hint of anise bitterness in there mixed in. On the finish on the tongue, I am getting that sweet cinnamon and baking spices that kind of sits on the tongue for a while. Has a nice finish to it. Nothing wrong with this Blanco at all. Quite enjoyable. Definitely could see people that are Blanco fans enjoying this as a sipper. Would also be great for making cocktails like margaritas and such, or any kind of cocktails that where you'd use a Blanco tequila. So it's good. There's nothing wrong with this at all. So let's see what we get with the Rosa. All right, so next we're going to look at the Rosa. We'll go ahead and pop this open. Gotta find the place to break the seal. And I do require all the brands, when they send me samples for reviews, to send me sealed, real retail bottles. All right, here we go. These are sealed really well. Okay, get the plastic off. There we go. Okay. Let's pour a little bit in the glass. Had a nice seal to it. It does use artificial corks, so you will get a good seal on it. You don't have to worry about leaking or anything. Now, the really interesting thing on this is the color. It almost looks like they use artificial coloring, but I don't think they do. But look how pink that is. It's really pink. So there's not any hints of brown to it, which is kind of interesting, because normally there's a little bit of barrel brownness to it when you do a Rosa in a previous wine barrel. So this Blanco, to make the Rosa, is rested in French Burgundy barrels, French oak Burgundy barrels, for 1 month. For 1 month. Now, one thing cool that this brand does that's I think is good is that they do donate the proceeds, or part of the proceeds from the Rosa, to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for breast cancer research. I'm a big supporter of breast cancer research, and have done stuff with Susan G. Komen, as well as some of the other foundations that work for helping find a cure for breast cancer, because I do have some relatives that have been afflicted with breast cancer and have actually beat it. So I'm a big supporter of breast cancer research and supporting the institutions that help with that. Okay, so that being said, let's take a look at this Rosa in the glass. So looking at it in the glass, it coats the glass well. You can see the legs and tears forming on it. So it's kind of a nice viscous mouthfeel to it, more so than I think the straight Blanco does. You can see those tears coming down. Looking at the tequila itself, it is crystal clear with a pink hue, a light pink hue, which looks nice, and pink. So on the nose, definitely picking up that cinnamon and baking spices from the cooked agave. A little fruitiness to it. Definitely picking up a little grapiness to it from the Burgundy barrels. A little hint of vanilla in there as well. A slight sweet caramelish butterscotchish kind of nose to it too, but not artificial, more, straight what you get from a French oak barrel aging. It smells really nice. It smells really nice and inviting. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Salud. Coats the mouth nicely. Nice cinnamon, baking spices note up front. Little hint of fruitiness on it, almost like a nice grape fruitiness from the wine. Followed by a slight vanilla note, not a whole lot. It's kind of mixed in with the grapey, almost even like a slight sour apple note to it. And there's nothing wrong with this at all. This is nice. It's a nice Rosa. Get a little bit of heat on the tip of the tongue from it, but that's nothing bad. Nothing wrong with that at all. Let you know that it's there and kind of enhances the flavor profile a little bit. This is a nice Rosa. There's not a whole lot of flavor from the wine in there. I'd like to see more wine notes to it. I normally like it if I'm gonna drink a Rosa that's aged in a wine, I'd love to see more of the wine present. This is more of like a Blanco with just a slight hint of grapiness to it, the slight hint of vanilla, and that's just about it. Not a whole lot of complexity to it at all, but it's definitely very easily drinkable, and something I think people could sip on and enjoy. I could enjoy this with a cigar, and sip on it and not have any problems with it. So the Rosa's good. It's good. All right, so the last expression we're going to do is the Reposado, which is more in line with what kind of stuff I like. I do love a great Blanco, but Repos are nice. Rosas, there's only been like one Rosa that I really enjoyed, and you guys know what that one is. Rosas typically, they're good. I mean, I think my wife would enjoy the Rosa. All right, so looking at this in the glass, you can tell the barrel aging's add some viscousness to it. It's going to have a nice oily mouthfeel. You can see it breaking right there. Looking at the tequila itself, it's kind of a light amber color. Crystal clear, though. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now, they don't give a timeline as to how long the Reposado was aged for, but by rules with the CRT, it's from 2 months up to 12 months, so it could be any time in there. What a lot of distilleries do is they'll just try the different barrels that fit within that and pick the barrels that have the best, no matter what their time frame is. They don't set a particular time frame. They just more look for the flavor profile that they want. All right, so the nose on this, interesting. The nose on this, I'm getting a slight cinnamon and baking spices agave note, but a really strong wood note. Like it's like a wet wood note. Really strong oak note on it. It's you normally for a Repo, I think you get more vanilla and some caramel and light wood note. This one's really strong on the wood note. I don't know what kind of barrels they used for this, but it almost has a Jack Daniels kind of smell to it as well, like Jack Daniels whiskey. I used to be a big Jack Daniels drinker, and it reminds me a lot of Jack Daniels. So maybe these were former Jack Daniels barrels they used for this. But it's got a really like a wet wood Jack Daniels kind of nose. And that's just about all I'm picking up. I'm not picking up like any vanilla or caramel or any notes like that on it. So we'll see what we get on the flavor profile. Salute. Coats the mouth nicely. Nice oily mouthfeel to it. Sweet cinnamon and baking spices up front, so it's coming through on the flavor profile. Slight hint of vanilla. Slight hint of vanilla, definitely like a Jack Daniels whiskey note to it. A little bit of stinging on the tongue, a little bit of heat, probably from the whiskey that was in this. And then this cloying bitterness at the end that I'm not particularly fond of. So I think the Repo is a miss for me. It's got a really bourbon-esque kind of mouth or taste to it. So if you're somebody that likes bourbon, you might enjoy this Repo. For me, it's a little heavy on the wood for a good Repo. I'd like to see more of the Blanco present with just a hint of the wood for the Repo. But it definitely has a bourbon-esque kind of Jack Daniels kind of taste to it that kind of rides through on the finish with a little bitter oak note to it. So I think the Repo is probably my least favorite from the group. So how would I rate these? I give the Blanco a solid 4 agave. I give the Rosa, it's missing some stuff. It's very light. So I would probably give the Rosa a 3.5 agave. And then for the, 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 Reposado being mostly just wood and bourbon notes in it and kind of strong on the wood and bourbon, I would give this one more of like a 3 agave. So the Ricava line, not bad, not great. The Blanco, I think is good. I think the Rosa is good. The Repo, I would leave behind. They do an añejo, but they didn't send me a bottle of that for the review. So, it's okay. It's okay. It's, nothing special, nothing I'd say you need to run out and buy, but it's definitely enjoyable. If you see it and you want to get it, I think you'd enjoy it. It's okay. So there you go. If you liked the information I shared in this video, make sure you click the thumbs up and give me a like. If you're new to the channel, bienvenido, welcome. We'd love to have you part of the Tequila Hombre community. And if you'd like videos, reviews for tequilas and agave spirits that are honest and unbiased, and you want to be notified when I post these new reviews, as well as informational videos, so you have the information you need to make intelligent decisions when out shopping for tequila at the liquor stores or wherever you buy your tequila, make sure you click the subscribe button right there and the notification bell next to it so you get notified every time I post a new review. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So hey, if you wanted to pick up the Ricava, Blanco, or Rosa, go ahead. I would leave the Repo behind unless you're a bourbon person. If you like bourbon, you'll really enjoy the Repo, I think. For me, I tend to like it less bourbony and more agave up front with the wood kind of accenting that. So bourbon drinkers would love the Repo. So there you go. And until next time, salud. Bye, guys.